I'll wait until I see a clock.
Yeah, we're live now. Yeah, that's us.
Are we live now? Oh, there we are. Folks,
Yeah.
a very good evening to you, one and all, and welcome to this week's edition of Mauls Balls and All. At the moment, there are just the two of us due to life getting in the way, unplanned situations, and other things that are going on. The usual stuff, folks, that we all experience from time to time. With me is, as always, our man in Glasgow, Mike Reedy. Mike, you're looking fab. How the hell are you? Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you, Peter. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Well, we've got somebody else. Mr. Weston.
Oh, here's Dara. Dara has joined us. How are you, Dara? Are you well?
I'm not too bad, lads. Sorry, I'm
Mr.
still
Weston.
in office mode with my headset and everything here.
That's absolutely fine, Dara. Good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Michael. Good evening to you, Mr. Thornley. How are you?
You're grand. You're looking fab.
Thornley.
I'm fucking fab.
Class.
Yes.
But
and the first comment in there is hello all. And we're going to kick in. There we go. Now, Dara, are you well in yourself?
I'm half well in myself. I'll be a lot feckin' better once the week is over and I get some rugby into me. Apart from that.
Oh. Are you going to any of the games? Are you going to the Leinster match on Friday or?
I'm going to the Leinster match on Friday. Well, I have to go up to Belfast on Friday because the company I work for are American heathens, so they don't give us Good Friday off to go to Mass and all that. So I have to go up to Belfast, so I'll be driving back and hopefully into the RDS for the match. I'd say I should be in time. I think it's like a 7:30, 8:15 kickoff, something like that. So
Friday night.
7:35. 7:35.
Perfect. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Someone just said there, Dara, some gaff, Dara. I'd say that's a kind of one of those.
This is a virtual background because basically I have some flip charts from the office, and this is my home office I'm sitting in. So I don't think anybody wanted to see flip charts about aviation and things like that.
Probably not. Right. Okay.
Fantastic.
Anyway, right, folks.
It's not midget amputee porn anyway, just in case you're worried.
Okay, fair. Right. James Grant might be jealous. Right, folks. Now, what I want to kick off with, as always, the news stories that happened in the group that kind of garnered some attention or some comments or opinion. And this one just happened today. It actually caught me by surprise. So much so I posted the wrong information, but I corrected it after. I think it was Ben Miles, I think, corrected me on it, was that a Georgian team, Richard Cockrell coming out and saying that a Georgian club team, the Black Lions, would be looking to join the URC. Mike Reedy. Now, the only thing, I mean, I've no problem with that. I think they were in the Challenge Cup, or one of them were in the Challenge Cup, or where it was. What about Wasps and London Irish too? I mean, they're trying to make a comeback. But anyway, we'll deal with the Georgian, this Black Lions, a Georgian team in the URC. Would it make any difference? Would it matter of bollocks?
I actually think it'd be a great thing, to be honest with you, because it can only enhance rugby in Georgia and give them a chance maybe that they're craving, as a nation. Because like they're not really getting, it doesn't look like they're going to get a chance of a six or whatever number of nations competition anytime soon. And perhaps they're not even quite there yet. I mean, it looks like they can't beat Italy on a regular basis. So are they ready for a Six Nations? But as far as the URC, and the URC is the United Rugby, is the world kind of thing now it's become since South African teams have joined. So I would say I would be in favour of it, yeah, definitely. And it looks like, I mean, Welsh teams are struggling even to field teams as we go forward, And Scotland there's talks of a third team, so trying to unearth a third team in Scotland, but that won't be happening anytime soon either. So by all means, bring George in, but I mean, I don't know if you even want to discuss the other two options.
All right, tangent boy. Just hold on, will you, for a fucking second?
Okay, right.
Okay. Dara Weston, this idea, I don't see any harm in bringing the Black Line.
I think it's good. I think it's good for rugby. I mean, it's. I would caveat that with so long as they're up to a standard where they're not going to be the whipping boys in the championship, because I think we saw with Italy that being the whipping boys at club level or international level does nothing for the game really in your country. And obviously, we were lucky insofar as we got so many wooden spoons, but people kept playing rugby because they wanted to have the points afterwards and stuff. So possibly our drinking culture that saved rugby through the wooden spoon years. But I'd definitely be in favour of a Georgian team joining. Now, when you asked there about Wasps and London Irish coming in, no, I don't think so. Because for them, for the Georgians, it's an opportunity to get into rugby. For Wasps and London Irish, it's just a detour to get back into the Premiership. Right. That's all it is. It's a cynical kind of thing from them. I mean, Wasps don't even have a ground at the moment. Heartstrings would say, yeah, it'd be nice to have London Irish in it. But in reality, they're English Premiership clubs. They want to go back to being English Premiership clubs. The Georgians have no domestic league to field that team in against adequate opposition. So, yeah, I'd definitely be in favour of them joining, but not Wasps and London Irish.
Okay. All right. Someone says it is indeed the Black Lions who are in the Challenge Cup. Someone else says, I agree. I think it will be good. Sorry, folks, just a few comments. Obviously, people are opinionated about this, and rightly so. I would love Black Lions to be in. Sure, a trip to Georgia. I don't know. I've never been to Georgia. And someone suggested, someone suggested, gentlemen, that in the same thread that it was posted that the Black Lions should be included was that to drop the WRU, the Welsh teams, down to 2. I don't know if that will be. I don't know. What do we think of that, Dara?
Well, it's going to be very awkward to do because they're privately owned. So the WRU really have no say over them. So, right. For us, it'd be easier if we had to turn 4 provinces into 5 or 4 provinces into 3 because they're all centrally controlled by the IRFU. But I mean, it'd be a pretty unexciting qualification. 2 teams go out of 3, or out of 3 go into the URC. So you're essentially going to kill one of the clubs. So, and the question is then, can Welsh Rugby afford to absorb? Can the clubs and Welsh Rugby in general afford to absorb the players from that 3rd club into the remaining 2 major clubs, or will Probably all those players just be lost to foreign clubs? In which case they don't become eligible. Yeah. So I mean, if they go to France, then they're ineligible for Wales, and so I don't know. It's as much as I don't like Warren Gatland, I think it'd be kind of kicking Welsh Rugby while it's down at the moment.
Yeah, fair. That's a good point, Dara. Mike Reedy, I don't think it was suggested to drop Wales down to 2 teams.
No, I agree with what Dara just said.
As Dara said,
I think it would be a final nail in Wales Rugby. I mean, it's like Dara just said as well. Kicking them when they're down is not beneficial to anybody. And I mean, the game of rugby traditionally has been very important to the people of Wales, and I and just as any kind of a sporting nation at all. And now that their football team hasn't qualified for the European Championships, maybe the supporters will start going back to watch the rugby again, which might be good, But I wouldn't, they're there or thereabouts. There's none of them good enough, but there's none of them dire enough to be chucking them out either. I wouldn't have thought.
They're, right. Okay. Yeah.
They're probably they are the weakest teams in the championship, along with Zebra, probably. But
yeah. Right. Okay, gentlemen. Now, the next thing I want to talk about that got some reaction as well in the group was this idea of I don't know what the fuck is going on in Ulster Rugby. I really don't. But they're having
just with Ulster Rugby or in general, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, we'll stick to the rugby for the moment. But Jerry Thornley writing today.
Your colleague.
My colleague, yes. I'm actually running. I'm going to the Women's Six Nations on Sunday under the press badge. As you do. Well, I wanted to. I could have gone to the Leinster match. But I've seen Leinster loads of fucking times, and I've never been to a Women's Six Nations. So I said I'll try it again. So, but I've never been. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll give it a go." And they came back and said, "Yeah, you're approved. Go ahead, pick up your pass, and off you go." So, fuck it, I'll go to the match on Sunday. But and what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, Ulster Rugby, right? The clean out, where Jerry Thorney was writing about, the likes of Addison, Luke Marshall is going. There's other players leaving or being let go. Their skills coach, someone called Newby, is expected to go. Petrie, as we all know, well publicized, he's leaving. Richie Murphy just coming back in, or just starting his interim or permanent coach role. We don't know; it'll probably be permanent. Mike Reedy, what the optics here are all wrong for Ulster Rugby. But what's your view on all
They
this?
are, but as regards the backroom staff, like of the coaching setup, going by what most Ulster fans are saying, they're wanting rid of him anyway. They want him gone, especially Petrie. I think his name has been mentioned quite a bit, and Richie Murphy hopefully will have some of his own backroom staff that he's more used to working with. As regards to playing, most of those guys that, apart from, I mean, even Luke Marshall hasn't played an awful lot, or Edison for that matter. And judging by the way Edison was at the weekend, perhaps, I mean, he doesn't appear to be much of an addition anyway. So, you know, if they have youth coming through, and I think that's what Richie Murphy will go with. By the way, he knows all the under-20s from every province very well. And I can really visualize him luring some of the ones from the last couple of years in particular, like to Ulster, and he knows exactly what they can do. So it might be the way forward for Ulster, because they've gone.
But Mike, that's all well and good. But do Ulster have a decent academy? Do they have players at underage?
They won't have a strong. They're not as strong as probably, well, certainly not as strong as Leinster and even Munster. But I would imagine he'll be going to Leinster and wherever the other provinces for their underage players, their under-20s players, to bring him into the fold at Ulster. I can't see any other way for him. I mean, he can't be bringing in these foreign players there and paying them stupid amounts of money, because again, bringing academy guys through, they wouldn't command as big a salary, like as
Have you got your I Hate Mercenaries t-shirt on underneath that?
Oh no, actually I've got my Arrow Rovers tracksuit top on.
Oh, don't you have two of your mates?
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to Frank Savage and to Dermot O'Halloran, two of my old buddies from Portroe who are tuning in to watch us this evening.
How are you, Frank? How are you, Dermot?
Football, so.
How are you doing? Right, okay, thanks, Mike. Dara Weston, what the fuck is going on in Ulster Rugby?
Look, it's basically not a perfect storm, but it's when it rains, it pours. I think, you know, obviously the previous coach, whose name you could put with Eddie Jones nearly, he basically he destroyed them. Now I would say about the academy, didn't your man with the prop with the fantastic mullet, Wilson, he came through from the Ulster Academy only this season, so they do have some academy players. But yeah, I get the feeling Richie Murphy's interim appointment could become permanent, because in a transition phase like this, who else is really going to want the job? Because it's going to be another 2 or 3 years of pain before you start seeing promising results coming out of it. I mean, they basically have to hack away at all the rot and rebuild from scratch nearly. And then Jerry Thorney goes and shites about Tom O'Toole and stuff like this. You know, that's just trying to raise rabbits.
That's wrong, by the way.
It was also Finlay Beelum he mentioned as well in that fucking article about the Leinster approached Finlay Beelum, and they blocked the Tom O'Toole thing.
Yeah, it's no, I can't see. I mean, it's you know, okay, Leinster have given plenty of players to the other provinces over the seasons, but no, I think it's we have such a strong academy. I think it's unfair. We need to blood young players, and I know we do need experienced players as well, obviously coming in. But yeah, as for Ulster, I think it's going to be a painful couple of seasons.
Yeah, true. I totally agree.
I don't think they'll be adding to their one Heineken Cup yet. Like, they won't
catch up
not quite just yet. But they're
Not
only
quite.
one behind Munster, so they need to remember that.
Yeah, well,
You're bad.
go
You're
on,
bad,
go
you are.
on. The Munster man, Mike. Look at that. Okay, some comments. Will has been injured for a while.
That is true.
Maybe why? Yeah, he has. Yeah, not sure. We have an okay schools system. That's that one there. Someone else says, "Hey all, how are you?" Again, Facebook user. I don't know who it is. Now, gentlemen, another thing. Just an aside, I just thought this was a bit funny. The I'm not hitting something there. Oh, there it's gone. The Telegraph. I thought this was fucking hilarious. It was put up for humorous reasons, not any serious reasons. The Telegraph posted their probable lines. Hold on 1 sec. Before I go into this, I just see a big comment coming in there. Ulster has been mismanaged for the last 5 years. Murphy needs to clean the decks and start again. The IRFU and in turn the provinces need to get behind the rebuild. There are numerous 20 to 23-year-old around the other provinces who will not get nearly enough game time where there are to grow and improve. Send the North to grow the pool for the national team.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. What's this one here? Sorry, but just people are animated about this. What's people's thoughts on Doak at 10? Dara, Doak at 10. I'd say he's a good player. Like Doak is a good player. I don't mind. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't
know. Yeah. I suppose he'd be grand. Look, see how it goes.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah, I think good.
I still think we might lose one of the Burns. And to be honest, look,
Harry.
We've kind of seen that, even though he's named after my favorite pub, like, we've kind of seen the two of them you can't play 1 at 10 and one in the center. They don't really work that well. Ross is probably the more experienced. Harry would still be an addition as well, as a backup to Doak, or, the two of them co number 10. If we have co-captains, why can't we have co-positions now as well?
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I'd agree.
So,
Mike.
I have to say I think Doak is a slightly better 10 than a 9. I think he's too slow. He's too slow getting to the breakdown as a 9, and I would much prefer. I mean, if Cooney is going to be around for another couple of years, and they might even, I know you Leinster fans mightn't like to hear it, but they might go after Fintan Gunn as a replacement 9. He's a proper player, by the way. That boy is, and I would be. I think Doak at 10 will go okay. Yeah, I honestly do. I mean, if Cooney can stay fit to play at 9, because otherwise they're. What have they got for there?
Yeah. Hello, Ian Gilbert, who is watching from Madrid. Hi, Ian. I hope you're well,
Ian.
and I hope you're getting some fine weather over there. Someone else says, give him time. I presume that's not directed at Ian Gilbert doing anything. I presume it's directed at Doak.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, gentlemen, another one that this video was posted, and she has been a past guest on this show. But she made a very important point, and I totally agree with her. Anna Capeless was asking why her the thrust of her little video that was posted was why a sports-loving nation like Ireland doesn't show more support for women's rugby. And she was basically comparing the game in France that she was at, where there was flyers being sent out everywhere. There was posters everywhere about the game. There was so much more promotion about the women's game in France than she has seen or experienced here. Are we, Michael? Come to you. Are we sadly lacking in that front in supporting? I don't think it's as bad as was made out, but the lack of support for women's rugby over here.
I'll tell you what I'll say about this, by the way. You watch the crowd at any women's game, any of the Women's Six Nations games over the weekend, and I would say that at least 80 to 90% of them are men or boys. So in order for like women's sport to be supported at any level, women have to support it themselves first and foremost. They have to, and they can't like, you know, it's about what's attractive, what's good to watch. Like, you can't force people to watch something that's not entertaining. And I've been to two Ireland Six Nations women's games. I was there when we won the Triple Crown. Fiona Coughlin was captain, and I was there the year after. I was at the game the year after as well. Both of them in Scotland now, but I went to see him twice, and very, very interesting. I enjoy women's rugby. I think it's really, really good to watch, and you know what? There's probably less physicality involved in it, which doesn't deter from the game from the sport for me anyway. But I do think that women's sport still has a lot of catch. I mean, in fairness to Ireland, they're kind of trying to head in the right direction anyway, because they've like went professional with the 15s or the 15s team now as well, to a degree. I wouldn't say any of them are going to become very wealthy from it, but at least they have made efforts. I mean, I live in Scotland, and there wouldn't even, I'd say if you walked along the street, you wouldn't be one person that's ever even knew Scotland had a women's rugby team. They probably wouldn't, and most of them wouldn't even know they had a men's one for that matter. But anyway, it's a very difficult one, because, like I said, I watched this now. I watched the game today, the Ireland-France game, and there wasn't very many women at the game that could be seen. Like, so they need to go out and support the game themselves. You know, get women to go to the games to watch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
okay. Yeah. All right. No, that's a very valid point, Mike. Thanks very much. Dara Wesson, would you agree what Anna Capeless was saying, that the difference in support that she saw in France for the French Six Nations women's game, as you would see over here?
Yeah. And there's two reasons why we don't get the same level of support for women's rugby in Ireland that they have in France. Gaelic football, camogie. So basically, if you're not having girls actively involved in a sport, they're not going to go to stadiums to watch the sport. Excuse me, look at the women's GAA matches. You know, there's a lot of free tickets and cheap tickets given to schoolgirls. The stadiums are packed. You know, Lidl have been involved with the Ladies Gaelic Football Association as well. They put a lot of money behind that sponsorship of it. So, I mean, if you look at a little boy and a little girl, they can both play mini rugby. That's fine. Little boy goes into school. Okay, in primary school, he's probably not going to be exposed to rugby unless he's going to Willow Park or somewhere like that. But, you know, most suburban primary schools, they won't really have rugby. Secondary school, the boy will have rugby in his teenage years. There might be some club level rugby as well that he can play. For the girls, it's purely clubs. I mean, I remember when we had the former coach of the Irish women's team on, and I wasn't on the panel, but I asked the question of, did he see it expanding in any way in girls' schools, the game? And he was saying, you know, there was some kind of green shoots, but it was hard to tell. So yeah, I think it's basically the GA are getting in there earlier than rugby can to girls, and the girls that do stick with sports, you know, up to 18, 19, whatever, obviously there's a lot more of them sticking with the GA side because they're getting constant exposure to that.
Yeah, very true. Well, just go back to your GA when you're watching games on TV. I've watched the news reports on RTE, and obviously there's GAA is included in that. But when you see these club games in big, you know, 8,000-10,000 seater stadiums around the country, and there's about 400 people in them for men playing, boys playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know if that's
and even the coverage of the women's games. I've been at women's games in the RDS and up in Ashburn when they used to play the games up in Ashburn. There's maybe one camera from RTE or whoever. I mean, you go to a women's football game. I've a cousin. He's a cameraman. He does the Steadicam, and a lot of the work he does is GA matches, running up and down the sidelines. Steadicam. That's even for just provincial and county level games. You know, women and men's.
Yeah, but I'd say, gentlemen, the cynic in me. Well, sorry, it's not me being cynical, it's me being realistic, is that it's all about the money. It's all about the money. The men's game attracts more sponsorship, more ad revenue, more seconds between the games on Virgin and RTE. When they go to an ad break, you get higher companies looking to pay more for the ads and all that sort of stuff. I used to know someone who worked in sponsorship in RTE. It's all about money. It's all about ad revenue. It's all about people through the turnstiles. It's all that. And unfortunately, the women's game, be it GAA, be it soccer, maybe not so much soccer, and rugby, are competing against a men's game that has an almost plus or minus 1 or 2% a year on the accountancy books revenue that they know they're going to get from the Aviva, Leinster, Munster, Ulster, Connacht. They know they're going to get a certain amount of a baseline revenue from games that they have. And I don't know if they can do that for the women's game just yet. I suspect it's all about money.
But what you do is, when you have one show that's much more popular than another show, you sell the two of them as a package. So if you were to get a sponsor for Mauls, Balls and All, you'd put them on that Thursday show that nobody watches, where it's just you farting on for an hour with somebody.
Half an hour. It's only
half an hour. It just feels like an hour, is it?
Well, that's true.
No, but I mean, the Six Nations. So the women's and men's Six Nations. There's no reason why the IRFU can't go and say, okay, I'm not sure. Is it even it's not the IRFU that awards the TV rights. It's the Six Nations Rugby. But Six Nations Rugby should be saying, okay, you're bidding on the package of the men's and the women's Six Nations jointly. And then that money goes back to the home nations, and that money should be split, proportionately. In an ideal world, it should be 50-50. But even if it was 60-40 or 70-30, it'd be a massive increase in funding for the women's game.
Yeah. My sister was campaigning for probably for a few years to have women's rugby shown on live television in the UK and in Ireland. Imelda, she started she had a women's page, a rugby page called Show Women's Rugby on Facebook. She had about 13,000 members on it. She's actually shut it down now, but she campaigned for 4 or 5 years. I remember her speaking with Fiona Coughlin in Scotland when we were at the game, after the game, and she like, there was no games being shown at all. No Irish, no games. I mean, England were showing the odd one, but she campaigned with the BBC, all the Irish television channels, all the UK ones, even Sky, every one of them. She campaigned with them all to have women's rugby shown live on television. And it has paid some kind, I don't know, it wouldn't be her alone now, but other people obviously were involved as well, but she did it, and it became almost a crusade for her, But I think it's a shame that like people aren't, or that the game isn't maybe supported. But like I said earlier, women have to support themselves before they can expect other people. Like, they want equal rights for everything, and fair enough. I'm in full agreement of that.
Yeah.
But you have to support yourself as well.
Yeah. Okay.
The other point I think, Peter, that's worth making is the timing. I'm not sure. So look at the boost the under-20s got from being the night before the Six Nations games. I'm not sure if at the moment we're at the stage where having the women's maybe the women's competition should also coincide with the Six Nations, because having it following on straight after,
So under 20s on the Friday, Darren. Sorry to interrupt. Under 20s on the Friday, men's on the Saturday, women's on the Sunday.
I agree with that, and I'll tell you another reason I agree with that is because, especially when you have got travelling support, there's a lot better chance of them going to watch the women's game, like when they're there to watch the men anyway, than there is of them going individually to watch it. And it can. I don't know why they changed it to this. I don't know what I'm sure there is some kind of a legitimate reason for doing
TV schedules, cramped schedules with the URC, Heineken Cup.
Yeah.
So it's all that availability of players. All this sort of shite. But look, it's been done for years, so it'll be very difficult to change that.
Yeah. But I remember being in the Aviva when there was a women's game after, I think it was an Ireland-Italy game, and it was one of Bod's last games, and there was about maybe a third of the stadium stayed for the women's game, which was good. Like, I mean, obviously there was a lot of people that travelled up for the game and they had to drive back and things like that. So you're never going to get 100% staying on until kind of 9 in the evening. But there was still good attendance at it.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. There's just a couple of comments, folks. Someone says, surely we need to take note of what England are doing. England are streets ahead of everyone else when it comes to the women's game.
Their team is as well, to be fair.
They are, yeah. If you watch them against, what was it, Italy there? They played, what was it, Italy? Yeah, Italy was, yeah. Have I missed Burke mentioning press access to the Aviva? I haven't mentioned it yet, but I will be going to the Six Nations on Sunday on a press pass. Yes, Joe Lyons. Yep, he did it last week. Don't worry, he's okay. Right, grand. That's just more about that. Women rugby Six Nations be on first game next men's game. Both teams in on the same day. You were just saying that there, Dara, about that. I don't know, but yeah, people traveling, kids, families. They could be coming from the west, from north, south, east, west, whatever.
I suspect it won't happen on the same day because of the fact that TV channels like to have one game, half an hour of analysis of the game, 15 minutes build up, then the next game kicking off. So they can have you in front of the screen for 6 hours drinking against your will.
Well, what they do is they do for the URC games, Dara. They've had Leinster game, and then shortly afterwards, if Leinster are kicking off at 3, then they'll have the Munster game or Ulster, whoever the hell it is. They'll have them.
Yeah, but they're not in the same stadium.
Yeah. No, they're not. But the TV bookings, they'd have 2 URC games.
But if you have 3 Six Nation games on a weekend, and you're going to turn that into 6 games. So what they'll look at it is that's going to be 8 or 9 hours on the Saturday, and you're going to have a men's game, a women's game, a men's game, a women's game, something like that. And what the TV stations will want is back-to-back international games. So maybe having the women's game on the Sunday or something, the day after the men's day, or if the men's game is on a Saturday, have it on, or it's on a Sunday, have it on a Saturday.
I know what you mean.
But at the moment, like, you have a solid 2 months of Six Nations rugby, and then you're trying to explain to your wife why you're sitting down at the telly watching Six Nations again and not able to go to IKEA on the Saturday because the women's, and she's gone, is that not on since the new year? Like, so.
Yeah.
But these are Munster fans. They're very, very fickle.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, we'll say nothing about that now. Hold on a second. Wait. Cheers.
The Hennemite.
The Heinemite. A stick of Heinemite, please, bartend. Yes, I was going to say way back. This gave me a laugh. The Telegraph posted, I don't know if you saw this, the Telegraph posted their projected Lions team. And I had to laugh. And I'll just read these out, gentlemen, and you can throw in your comments here. The Daily Telegraph, I know it's a rag of a newspaper, but they have their locks, right? Their locks they've chosen. George Martin, England. Itoje, England. James Ryan, Ireland. James Ryan, who's actually out for the rest of the season. Tyke Byrne, Ireland. Will Rowlands, Wales. Ian Henderson, Ireland. Right? That's their locks. Right? No mention of John McCarthy. Their back row.
I don't think you need to go any further.
Yeah, well, there you go. But it gave me a laugh. Their back row is Jack Morgan, Wales, Tommy Reffel, Wales. Fair enough, Tommy, he deserves that.
Yeah.
Ben Earl, England. Yep, totally deserved. Caelan Doris, Ireland, totally deserved. Rory Darge, Scotland. Yeah. Courtney Laws or Tom Curry, England. Right, that's all.
Who's Tom? Who?
Tom Curry.
Oh, Tom! Fuck's sake, he's not even been England. I can't get him getting an England squad.
Yeah, I know. And the date, just the Telegraph, right? Just what I was laughing at. No mention in their back row of Josh van der Fleer, Player of the Year, there, whatever it was last year, the year before. No mention of him. It's just I just think it's laughable. What do we think of those selections, gentlemen?
Well,
I assume they had just as many English players as any other nationality in it. So I mean, it's an English paper. They're just looking and going, who the feck can we pick to go in? You know, it's yeah.
I'd be interested to see what players they would have picked prior to Ireland, England at Twickenham, because I'd say there'd be very few fucking England players picked for any team based on their performances prior to that in the Six Nations. And I wouldn't. Do you know something? I can't. I don't even know what to say about it, because I like, you know, I'm in no favor at all of picking any Lions team at this juncture for the end of next year. The fucking whole thing could be changed. There mightn't be. All sorts of things will change who's getting picked and who's not getting picked.
There could be an injury. There could be anything. Yeah, someone else there says no Josh. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. He says, hi guys, not only did work get in the way, I also didn't realize it was Wednesday. That's quite all right. Okay, no problem. I want one other one here, right, that I came across. Sorry, that's another commentary. We've all been there. Yeah, okay. Right. Someone, I don't know where this list came from, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I just want to see if you agree with this. Someone, I saw this on another site, and I put it into the group. Now, if you didn't see it, I'm just going to ask you, can you name a few of them, right? Someone put up the top 8, 1 to 8, best scrum halves ever. Right, gents. Go. Can you name who's on that list? The top 8.
We'll do tennis, one each, Mike. So I'll go with Stringer, just to be gracious to you, being Master Man.
Not on the list.
I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, Gareth Edwards should be number 1 anyway.
He's number 1, right? Derek, go on. You crashed and burned in your first guess. Number 3.
Who did you say?
So you've got 1 and 3. So you've got 1 and 3. You've got Gareth Edwards is 1.
Juice van der Westhausen has got to be on it.
He's number 2. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. So you have 4 to 8 to get.
Probably
Aaron Smith.
Probably the Australian guy.
Smith, correct, Aaron.
Gregan.
Aaron Smith is number 4. George Gregan is number 5. Well done, gentlemen. You got 6, 7, 8.
Maybe Matt Dawson.
Number 6. Well done, Mike. So you have 2 more, 7 and 8.
Well, I'm hoping Austin Healy is never anywhere near it.
No, he's not on the list.
I'm just trying to think who else.
I'll tell you who wouldn't be far away now, by the way, is Gibson Park.
No,
and he won't be on it at the moment, but
himself and Stringer aren't
even for that matter, Conor Murray, like for a couple of years in the. Oh, they'll probably have some.
Maybe back in 2017 he would have been on.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is there a South African in it? I don't think so. They haven't had an outstanding.
No, there's an Australian and there's
Juice van der Westhuizen should be. So
he's there. You've named him. Yeah. You've got everyone, but you don't have 7 and 8. Number 7 is an Australian, and number 8 is an Argentinian.
Oh, we've already talked about George Gregan. He's already
George Gregan is on it. George Gregan's on it.
Yeah. Jeez, I can't think of the Argentinian.
A double-barreled surname for the Australian.
Jesus, I should know this, man. Now this is embarrassing.
His initials for his double-barrel surname is
Pisho.
F. Pisho is number 8. Yeah, get the Australian fella.
Yeah.
That's right, Pisho.
So you're missing the Australian fella with the double-barrel name, and his initials are FJ.
Oh, Far Jones.
Mike. There you go.
Nick Far Jones.
Yes, there you go. Now,
so his initials are NFJ then.
Yeah.
No, but I've given you the surname to his double-barrel.
He did say the surname.
Oh, sorry, you did say double-barreled. Sorry, you did.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Pay attention, Dara. Jesus Christ. So you got Gareth Edwards, Juice van der Westhuizen, Antoine Dupont, Aaron Smith, George Gregan, Matt Dawson, Nick Far Jones, and Augustin Pisho. I would imagine if they did a top 10, I'd say Strings will be in there. I'd imagine.
To be honest, I think Strings should. I would rate Strings higher than Dawson. And that's as a Leinster fan, you know.
See, winning a World Cup it means everything, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
As well.
It was from rook.co.uk, who have famously robbed content from our group, and it just magically appeared in their group for some fucking reason. There's a Facebook user. The English media is picking the team of one game. Nothing about the fact that they beat Italy by 3 points. Wales with a last-minute score, as was the case with Ireland, and lost to France and Scotland. Yet they are hyping them up. Typical English media. Not to be said for that. There's someone there just to back up my claims. It was Rook. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else says, think something to do with World Rugby for one of them. Is that someone guessing the scrum halves? I think 1991. I don't know what that was. Someone else guessed Fire Jones. Yeah. Someone else says he'd put a fire under you. Yeah. Someone else has guessed Nick Fire Jones. Yes, absolutely. Okay. There we go. Right. Do I have everything else? Yeah, Ryan. I mentioned there in passing. James Ryan, Dara, out for the rest of the season. But I think.
Is he?
Yeah, but I think I'm sure he'll be back for the summer and November test. I was going to say to you, Dara, as a Leinster man, we've a cover there. I think we're covered in that position. James Ryan.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, he'd be a loss, but I'd be more concerned about what's going to happen to Bundyaki after he fucking took divots out of the lawn down in Cork. I'd say he could be a long-term injury now.
He'd be sitting out his back garden, and
he might be fucking in one of them divots by now.
Yeah, he get a bright shiny laser red light in the middle of his forehead between his eyes.
Yeah,
these days.
Yeah.
You know? Now, sorry, go on there. Yeah.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, sorry, put that down there. Where's the other thing going? The games that happened last weekend.
Can I ask one quick question before we?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I must have missed the memo. What's happening to Aviva, to Lansdowne Road? I thought the reason we were looking at Croke Park for the end of this season was purely because of the Wendy Ball Europa Cup final. But now Leinster are saying
there's concerts. They're booked for concerts as well.
Yeah, but apparently they're saying something as well on the season tickets about that the Aviva may not be available next
redevelopment
season.
Or something.
Yeah, some redevelopment, and I was kind of like, I didn't hear about any redevelopment of the Aviva.
Fucking thing is brand new, is it not?
Yeah, it was what 2011, I think it was.
Brand new to a degree.
It's fucking brand spanking new. Yeah. Jesus Christ, I was only there fucking last weekend. It's spanking new.
Yeah.
What did
you were in the posh parts that they polish every
week. I know that looks even fucking more brand new.
You go into the Jackson, there's the fella there with the hand towel.
Never sits.
Yeah. Deodorant, sir. Spray of aftershave, sir.
Or
what?
Your Jerry Thornley, somebody comes in from the IRFU to give it 2 shakes before he zips back up.
Oh Jesus! But I don't know. What parts of the Aviva are they fucking redeveloping or doing up?
That's what I don't know. And I was searching because this is why the GAA put the thing to Congress to allow soccer and rugby into Croke Park again, and it was passed. And I saw people talking about the redevelopment of the Aviva, and I was like, what redevelopment? I thought it was just because the Europa Cup was on at the end of May, and so they wouldn't want any games before that to keep the pitch pristine, and then concerts during the summer and stuff. But then Leinster are now saying that it may not be available till next year. So if the RDS has been redeveloped, we may be off in Croke Park.
I don't know, Dara. I haven't a clue. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, that's grand. I'm not the only stupid one, so that's fine.
I haven't heard what's going on, but I did read what you just said there, Dara, that there was some kind of development taking place, and thought, why would you be redeveloping?
Yeah.
No, I saw the reply. I saw the reply, all right, that someone put up that they got back from the Leinster Rugby about the season ticket holders, and they got this very detailed email back, and I glanced through it. I didn't read it properly, but as for redevelopment of the Aviva, I have no fucking idea.
It basically smacks of if the RDS isn't available and it's being redeveloped, obviously we'd go to the Aviva, but if the Aviva is not available, we have to see can we go to Croker, kind of. So or
Nolan Park or one of these
fucking Phil Croke Park. That's what you
should do. Donnybrook.
All ye dubs, you should be well able to Phil Croke Park.
I doubt very much that Well, I don't know. Maybe they would. A championship game, a Heineken Cup with Leinster with Phil Croke Park. Maybe it would. I don't know. Now, what was I going to say? Yes, sorry, folks. The games that happened last weekend. We'll take the URC games first. Ospreys 17, Munster 27. Dara, did you see that one?
I saw bits of it. I saw the highlights. It seems to be a good game by Munster. I wouldn't say it was the best game I've seen. The Ospreys, aren't the strongest of opposition. But look, who wins a win? I mean, there was none of the international. There was none of the international squad back for Munster, so they were missing those 3 or 4 top class players that would be with Ireland.
Yeah,
okay,
very true.
Yeah, I'm not taking the fucking bait. You know what? Munster did what they needed to do. They went away and got a bonus point win. I was Sean O'Brien, the young Sean O'Brien, got two breakaway tries, and fair play to him. You could clearly see he doesn't have that burst, that pace, but by Christ, he had the strength to fend off the Ospreys winger that was chasing him down, and he brushed him off, by the way, and went over the line. Didn't he show his football skills for his second one? And Munster went away. Now it was a bit of a smash and grab in some ways, because Ospreys completely dominated possession in the game, and Munster got the scores. I know Ospreys got a try towards the end to make it a closer looking game, but it wasn't really that close in the end. But fair play, Munster. 5 points, match day points. Is away from home is always good anytime.
Yeah. Well, where are they in the table now? Are they fourth? Are they the fourth? Yeah. All right. Okay, Mike, back to you. Sharks 22, Ulster 12. Wow.
What was Ulster? In fairness, Richie Murphy, and to go away to South Africa is a tough proposition for any team. So it wasn't surprising that it was, I'll be honest, it was surprising that it was only 22-12. Or was it 22-12 you said?
22-12.
Ulster actually, that was the one. Will Edison, chasing back a long kick through by I don't even know who it was, South African player, and he could get absolutely nowhere near it. He was ahead. And I thought, Jesus boy, you're done, son. You're not up to it anymore. So hopefully things were going to get better. They have to get better for Ulster. Surely they have to. Even this late in the season, now they could still possibly qualify for in 7th or 8th position, for the playoffs. But something needs to be happening now, because they need results now. They're gone down to 8th position, I think, now, and if they go any further, obviously they're out.
Well, I wouldn't
hold out much, I think they're just below Edinburgh.
I wouldn't hold out much hope now for their next game in South Africa.
No, I don't.
Dara, that particular game, the Sharks Ulster.
Yeah, look, Sharks are a fairly strong team now, so I'd be I think to keep it within 10 points was, for a team that's in transition like Ulster, traveling, new coach, and I only saw the highlights, but did Richie actually travel? Has he taken up the role now?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah,
I think he did.
Okay,
yeah.
Grant. Okay, so look, I think I did see one of the tries now by he's obviously related to the other Scottish international, one of the Scottish lads playing for the Sharks, Van der Merwe.
He was black though. I'm not sure he's.
Let's not bring colour into this now, Mike. He's Scottish.
You said he was related. I'm not sure how related he could be.
Well, he's from the clan of Van der Merwe's, the Scottish clan.
All right, okay.
They have their own tartan and all that. So look,
I
think it was the best of a bad lot, I think, for Ulster. I mean, it was still they got points on the board and they weren't absolutely hammered. So I think
right.
They can take some positives away from it.
Okay, Dara, back to you for the next one. Connacht at home. They were entertaining the Lions. Connacht went down. Connacht were at home, yeah, they were.
Yeah, no,
Connacht,
but I'd agree with Mark.
Just the entertaining bit.
I'd agree with Mike on whether it was entertaining or not for Connacht
oh,
fans.
sorry. Okay, yeah. Connacht
Yeah,
14, Lions 38. That was the Lions' first win on Irish soil, and what a win it was.
Yeah, no, it was a good win. I mean, to be honest, I tremendously disappointed in James Grennan going off to Portugal on a holiday at such a key time of the year for
I
Connacht.
know.
You know, they were missing Bundy anyway because he was down digging up Peter O'Mahony's garden, but to not have James there as well. And then Mac was doing commentary. He wasn't even in the stands cheering away. Yeah, look, I mean, it was good weather in the sports ground. I think it kind of threw the Connacht team because they're used to playing in wind and rain and all kinds of shite over there.
Yeah, what the fuck was going on there?
You know, they didn't even have their home advantage of like horrible weather for the South Africans to go, oh, it's a bit chilly and, you know, sleet and all this. So, yeah, look, it was a disappointing match, but they've gone ahead of Connacht now, haven't they? I think they've gone into 8th and pushed Connacht into 9th.
They were down to 14 men, Dara, for.
Yeah, they were down to 14 from the 16th minute.
Yeah.
No,
Mike Reedy, what did you think of that game, Mike?
I thought that Connacht were absolutely abysmal, to be honest with you, and I was shocked by the Lions because they were so good. The actual standard of rugby they played was fucking frightening. So it was, to be honest with you. And this is 100% deserved to win the game. They scored 6 tries. And they were very, very, they were good, you know, a lot better because they're regarded as the poorest of the South African franchises, you know, and like I actually thought I fancied Connacht to win that game. Jesus, how stupid!
I never did.
Yeah, but the Lions have been fucking dreadful up to now. It's only the last 2 or 3 matches that they've put together a few results and are now, as Dara just said, above Connacht in the table. But God, they scored some really, really good tries, and Connacht couldn't fucking buy a result at the moment.
But I was saying, I said that a kind of a throwaway comment. I said, "Geez, you struggle to work out what team had 14 men."
Oh, absolutely.
At the end of that game, because the Lions they were finding room out wide, they were bursting tackles through the center of the park. Connacht had no answer for them, you know. And I was going, for fuck's sake, it was a terrible performance. And you know what I fucking hate? And James Grennan, I'm pointing the finger at you. When your team has a bad performance, or maybe 2 or 3 bad performances, or whatever in a row, they start questioning the coach. Is Wilkins up to the task? Is he you know, able to take this pressure? Is he at the right level and all that? And I think that's a bit too far. I mean, every fucking team, club team on the planet, test team, international team, whatever, they all have a bad day. They all have a bad run. I don't know what the opposite of a purple patch is, but whatever it is, every fucking team has them. You know, and I think, you know, coming out with that, you know, and I saw it on even the Connacht Rugby supporters group page thing, whatever the fuck it's called. You know, is Pete Wilkins the man for the job? Is he over his head? Is he all this? I just fucking lads, fucking stop.
You know, you can't be firing criticism at that like that at a coach when it's just the end of the Six Nations, and you have players who haven't come back. So one of your best players, who's a talisman for Irish rugby as well, Bundy, wasn't back. He wasn't released back. Mac Hansen, probably the most exciting player in Connacht that James Grennan gets a horn over every time he sees him. He's still out injured. So I mean, you know, now I see one of the commenters said Connacht are a bit like Ulster in a way. I think with Connacht it's more injuries. With Ulster it was more mismanagement under McFarland.
Yeah,
he
good point, Gary.
drove the team into the ground. I think Connacht, it's injuries and absences from international duty that's affected their results in the last couple of games.
Connacht have a kind of a, it's not threadbare, their squad, like in general, you know, they'll have enough players, but it becomes threadbare when you lose key players like to the national team, and also 2 or 3 key injuries. You are struggling. Then they had a decent team on that pitch, on that park, like, and they just underperformed, all of them. I honestly couldn't see I couldn't say that any Connacht player played up to the standard required at the weekend.
No, they didn't. And if you remember, Mike, and I don't know if you remember, Dara, when we had Reggie Corrigan on, the discussion was came around to were teams ripping off fans paying good money, but then your team fields a second and a third string team for a game. And Reggie says, well, Connacht don't do it because they don't have the players. Ulster don't do it because they don't have the players. So there's maybe an element of that as well when there's significant injuries that come into Connacht or Ulster. That they just can't fill those gaps. They don't have the quality to fill in.
No.
They don't. Unlike Leinster, which have this
fucking
conveyor belt of talent coming. Anyway, that's another show.
Well, yeah, I mean, Connacht have always been the kind of poor relation of the provinces. I still remember the time going back to the early 2000s, or was it the late 90s, when there was talk of abolishing Connacht.
Yeah, there was that was
just bringing it into 3, like that there wasn't enough money there to support 4 provinces. Now, I would very much I would support Connacht after Leinster. I've no family connection around to there, but I just always think, they're the underdogs of Irish rugby. But you're right, they don't have the strength and depth in the overall squad, and so unfortunately, when their Irish team members are out, the form drops.
Yeah. I support Connacht secondly for the simple reason being, I love Galway and I love that area, that neck of Ireland.
So do I.
There. I think it's a beautiful part of the world, as is Kerry and all that. But I love Galway. I just think it's a fabulous city, and all the West Coast.
I'm married to a Cork woman, so I'm obliged to say I love Cork, and it's fantastic.
Say nothing, Dara. Say nothing, folks. Say nothing. Right, folks. The last URC, the last
door listening to me.
the last URC game was Zebra were entertaining Leinster. Zebra lost that 7.
Zebra.
Lost 7 points to 31. Job done by Leinster. I don't think this was ever in doubt. Although I thought it would have been closer than it was.
The first half was squeaky bum enough. Now, when Zebra ran in for their try, it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't squeaky bum. Behave yourself. It was never squeaky bum.
Look, I'm not saying it. The end result was in doubt, but I think it was you that put up, or Mike, that you were surprised or amazed that Ed Byrne was hitting Centurion, and I was the same. I remember going to the RDS on cold nights and seeing Ed and his brother playing, in kind of smaller matches. The Rabba as it was back then, and the URC and the Celtic League and all that. But look, sure. That was the second Leinster team. The first Leinster team hadn't been released back from Ireland yet. So, it was, and the reason why I say squeaky bum as well was because, the attendance at that match was actually very good for an Italian club game. And, the commentators were talking about, that there was an air of optimism amongst the Italians after having had back-to-back wins in the Six Nations, and actually that there was something special happening in Italian rugby. Now, and okay, of the 2 Italian teams, Zebra are the one that don't have many Italian internationals. The majority of them are with Benetton Treviso.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was just. Did they have any, Dara? Did they? Sorry to come.
Yeah, they have a couple. Yeah.
Who? Oh, did you? All right.
I think they've 1 or 2, but they've none. They don't have limoncello or cappuccino or negri or any of your favorites, or even Lina. So, there's some of the smaller kind of workhorses of the team rather than the flashy stars. But Leinster weren't kind of dominating in the first half. But look, got the result. So,
It very much clicked in the second half, which tends to happen to the second or third Leinster squad. Yeah. Mike Reedy, what did you think of that game, if you saw it?
I thought it was comfortable for Leinster, to tell you the truth. I don't know where you're getting the squeaky bum, but Jesus, they scored early, and okay, I know they got their try. That was only just before half time, was it? Or was it? No, it was earlier in the game. It was actually just after Leinster scored.
I think it was 10-7 at one stage.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
And
So, I mean, there was an element of squeaky bum there now. I'm not,
Yeah. But I'll tell you who impresses me every time I watch him play, Max Deegan. That boy is a special player, by the way. He'd make most international sides, by the way. He's offload for Luke McGrath's try when he was fucking getting carried into touch, man. What a fucking offload.
The only problem, I tell you, Mike, I totally agree with you. The only issue with Max Deegan is where he plays and who's in front of him to get a
well,
brace.
of course, of course.
The only issue with Max Deegan. Otherwise, as you say, Mike, he'd walk into most international squads. Be a starter on the bench.
Was a really impressive try from the younger Osborne. I don't know which is younger, the boy that played in the wing.
Andrew, I think.
Yeah, he got a nice try.
What a debut!
Yeah. Listen, Munster or Leinster did what they do. You know what Leinster do? They don't bully teams. You know, Leinster don't bully teams. They play them off the park. They pass them off the park, and they're a good team to watch.
They're clinical. They're clinical.
I mean, obviously the bad point for Leinster was Frawley going off.
Fucking poor boy is.
Hopefully it's not a long-term injury. I think it was something.
I hope he's not going to be another Carver.
Well, sure, if he is, we can always send him down to Munster. That's what we do with our players.
I'll tell you what, I'll take him at Munster, by the way. I would gladly take him because Leinster don't seem to want him.
We'll only send him down if he's Ban Jackson. We can't use him.
we've no more use for him. Yeah, offload him. Yeah. Right. And the last game was the opening round of the Women's Six Nations. I forget who I went to first last time. Dara, I'll go to you. France 38, Ireland 17. I thought, albeit scoreline aside, I thought it was a marked improvement in the women from a defensive and attitude point of view. If you look at what the result was last year, it was 58-7, or I can't quite remember, but the gap, the gulf was far bigger. I thought the women played really well. What did you make of it if you saw it?
I thought it was a good match. I thought the defense was good, but the French attack were they had too much gas.
That 10.
It's a horrible match to start the tournament with because you're playing against probably the most informed team, and you're playing them over there. So yeah, I mean, I thought, look, it was the girls gave the women gave a good account of themselves, but look, France were too strong, unfortunately. And it was good, solid rugby, good, skillful, solid rugby, I should say, versus some moments of ridiculous French flair. And, we've seen that in the French men's team, French women's team. They can turn on this ridiculous amount of talent when they want. And then some games they go out and they just don't even show up.
That's the men. That's the men.
That's the men. Yeah, the women's team tend to always show up for the match. I think the men's team, if they don't like the coach, then they'll just turn it off. But look, it was disappointing that it was a loss. But I think the women gave a good account of themselves against.
And there was an improvement.
Team.
Yeah, there was a marked improvement. Yeah. Oh, and Dara, I was going to say, you're talking about flair and skill. The flip inside pass by the French scrum half to the 10 running through. The Irish girl, I can't remember her name, the pillar. Yeah. She left the side of the scrum, gap opened up.
But like, in the women's Six Nations at the moment, it's very much professional and amateur players.
Yeah.
So you have France and England, being the Australia, New Zealand of years and years ago, and the other nations are, the girls are getting paid a bit by their unions, but not there. Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Someone agreeing with you there, Dara. Yeah. I hate to say it. Sorry, Dara. I hate to say it, but France and England, they're completely agreeing with what you're saying there, Dara. Hate to say it, but France and England are playing professional teams, and Italy, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland simply making up numbers. It's not even close to a level playing field, unfortunately. Quite right.
Yeah.
Mike Reedy, your thoughts on that game, if you saw it?
Like what Dara said, see, the first, I think it was the first French try. I mean, the Irish, who was the Irish fullback? I mean, it was like just ran by as if she wasn't even there. It's a completely different sport almost, because it is amateurs versus professionals basically, and you can see it. But the most pleasing thing for me was that Ireland stuck it right to the end, and we scored 2 tries at the end. Yeah. And like I had visions, like it was 31-3, and I thought, Jesus, man, this is going to be really, really bad. By the way, they're going to put 50 fucking points on us here, and we're going to end up with 3. And we got 2 tries, and fair play, by the way, and 2 decent tries, to be fair. One of them was almost a powerhouse job. Pushed the the Irish girl with the red scrum cap. She fucking burrowed away over that line, by the way. Fair play to her. And the other one scored at the post with
Aoife Trainer, was it? No, was it Aoife?
I don't know. No, I didn't see the game live, to tell you the truth. I just saw the highlights of it, but right. You know, I was pleased. I was listening. I was actually listening to it on Radio 5 Live. I was working at the time, and it was on, flipping to between that and Saracens freaking Harlequins game. But they were keeping updates on it, and I was pleased that we went to the end. You know, instead of completely folding. You know, and doing 50 points.
Okay,
I'll
tell you, gentlemen. Okay, sorry. Now we're as usual. We've gone over time. We'll just fly through the games that are coming up, and let's see what who you think, or what you think about these games coming up. Dara, Leinster are entertaining the Bulls on Friday. You're going to it at 7:30. Looking at the table, the Bulls are in second place on 45 points. Leinster are obviously number 1 in the URC table on 49. How do you see that? That won't be an easy game now.
It won't be an easy game, but I think we'll pull it out. I think Leinster will do it. I mean, it's meant to be cold this weekend. I know down the south there's meant to be snow and stuff like that. So I would say it'll be a high scoring game. I'd say there'll be at least 3 tries probably each. But I think Leinster will win and get a bonus point as well.
Okay, just before I come to you,
Mike, you need 4 points for tries for that, by the way.
Just before I come to you, Mike, Ireland scored 25 points last year, 17 against France on Saturday. Something is going right. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Someone else says Leinster win, and then someone else says Leinster by 1 score. Okay, Mike, Leinster entertaining the Bulls 7:30 on Friday night. What do you think about that?
I think I'd imagine Leinster are going to put out a strong side against the Bulls. If they do, I think Leinster will win it. I think they'll win it.
When all of them are back.
Well, I think I can't see anything other than the Leinster win, bonus point win. Being honest.
Jeez, I was ready to saddle up that fence there, Mike. I thought you were going to sit in it.
Oh fuck no! I don't sit in fences. By the way, you fucking shamed me off the fence, you bollocks.
Right, gentlemen. The second one, Mike Reedy, Benetton are entertaining Connacht.
Oh God, Jesus! I'll tell you one thing. If it depends on what Connacht side turn up, because Benetton are going to turn up fucking ready and raring to go. By the way, because like we said, that Italian side are fucking on a high coming back from the Six Nations. So, and that's away. Oh my God. I fear for Connacht. I'm going to be honest, Joe. Benetton haven't played particularly well in their last 2 games now, but I hope Connacht can do it, but I can't see it. I can see a bonus point win for Benetton, to be honest with you.
Okay, Dara.
I'd agree with everything Mike says. Benetton, most of the Italian team on a high, all that. But if Bundy is back with Connacht,
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Oh, is he not? Okay.
He's still gardening in fucking Cork.
No, sorry, he's under Peter O'Mahon. He's patio.
Yeah, but Bundy, Beelum, JJ, and Conor Oliver are not available.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, I think without them, then it's going to be, if they can keep it to a losing bonus point. Look, it's hard to say. The Italians could, the Italians could just come out and not perform, having partied after the Six Nations. So it'd be hard to see. But I don't know. Based on Connacht's performance last week,
come on, get off the fucking fence, you.
Fair play, yeah. No, guilty enough, yeah.
Yeah. Someone says Treviso win. I would agree with you. Benetton to win this. Okay, fair enough. Okay, gents, the third game. Stormers are entertaining Ulster. Darrow Weston, I'll go to you first. Stormers, Ulster away to the Stormers.
So it's Ulster's second match in South Africa, so they should be getting a bit acclimatized. I'm sad to say,
a bit more shittier.
No. Look, I think I would hope they'd improve, but it's sad to say, as an Irishman, I can't see them beating the Stormers, but I would hope that they'd keep it within maybe 2 tries.
So the Stormers win.
Yeah, Stormers win, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I can't see Ulster picking up a losing bonus point either, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, and someone else does there too. Mike Reedy, Stormers entertaining Ulster.
Jesus, I tell you, I fear for Ulster as well, by the way, because I can't see him getting anywhere near the Stormers, to be honest with you. Nowhere near them. The Stormers are like the second best franchise in South Africa, and they're top team. If they get ahead of steam. Now the Stormers, that's Cape Town, isn't it? At least it's not at that fucking altitude anyway. So a bonus point win for the Stormers and fuck all for Ulster, to be honest, and I don't want. That's not what I want to happen. I'd like to see Ulster.
I know. But, okay, Mike, back to you. Munster are at home and they are entertaining Cardiff.
Oh, bonus point win for Munster, without doubt.
Okay, Dara.
Jeez, I'd love to see Cardiff do it. But no, I think Munster will do it.
Did on that, you.
Yeah, I'd say bonus point win for them. Be interesting to see how full Thomond Park is though for it.
That's true, actually. That's true. Very true.
Because the attendances haven't been as big as we've hoped for. Anyway, sorry.
No, go on, Dara. Finish your point.
No, I'm just saying, like I think the attendances have gone down a bit at Thomond Park, and I'd actually like to see them. Well, I'd like to see them playing more in Musgrave Park, apart from the plastic pitch there.
When does the game in Thomond, does that fall on or before Social Welfare Day?
Oh, it's I think they have the bonus Easter payment.
You're going to get fucking beaten with a stick, you are, Burke.
It's grand. He never goes outside of D4. Nobody.
I know. Fuck's sake. Yeah.
I need a passport to get outside of D4.
You could fucking sail. You could sail down there. No, go on your sail on your yacht.
I fucking hate sailing with you. Fuck off. I've nothing to do with fucking me. Nothing to do with me. That's shite. Right, gentlemen. Round 2 of the Women's Six Nations kick is continuing on the weekend on Sunday. Good news for the Ireland women. Sam Monaghan is back in the second row to shore up the line out. Mike Reedy, Ireland versus Italy in the RDS, 3:00 Sunday. How do you see that going?
I can see us winning that. I can. I watched the Italy-England game on Sunday, or England-Italy game, and they were fucking dreadful. They played against nearly the entire game against 14 as well. They absolutely mullered off the pitch, 36-0. And or something. I think that was the score anyway.
46-0, Mike, or 48-0 or something like that.
Oh, was it? It was as much as that, even. Yeah, it was actually. And I think I turned it off at 36-0. And I really hope we can kick on from our second half performance against France, and I think we will. I do think we will, because these girls, they really want to perform, though. They do. They genuinely, you can see it in them. And we have a good fly half. We have a good goal kicker as well. And she's able to kick. She kicked a penalty on Saturday there from distance, right in front of, like, must have been 35 meters out or something like that. Yeah. Which is good to see for a women kicking that. But I think we'll win that one. Yeah.
Okay, Darrow Weston, boost for the Irish women with Sam Monaghan back.
Yeah. No, I think, look, the sports psychologists or whatever would be saying to them, look, this is the start of your tournament now. Put the France game behind you. And I think they'll be going out and looking to put up a good score on Italy. So I think the only loser on the day will be you with your press treatment. I think it won't be as fancy as the Aviva.
I'll be going to the press conference afterwards, and hopefully Dorothy Wall or Bevan Parsons attend, so I can see them in the flesh. Although I did meet, who did I meet?
And can you try and keep your tongue in your fucking
and also can we take a leaf out of Father Ted? They're all lovely girls.
They're all lovely girls, yeah.
But it'll be a shock for you now, going from the leather and mahogany rich toilets of the pressed toilets in the Aviva to the can of links hanging on a string in the porta cabin in the RDS.
Shocking stuff. I can't believe it.
Things you do for your passion.
The things I do for my passion, yeah, indeed. And last comment there of the night, and we wrap it up after this. If the women playing the sevens game were playing the 15s, we'd be way more competitive. A few of them do.
Yeah.
You want that the girl, the woman who plays Heidi Crow, or what's her name? The double barrel name. She plays sevens and 15s. The winger or fullback, dark haired girl, Curdy. Amy Lee Crow or something like that.
We could say the same about the men's. What's the at the LA sevens? There was one of the Irish guys, and I think he scored his 103rd try.
Oh, Turner was one, I think.
Yeah,
whatever his name is. Yeah,
Turner or something. Yeah, I can't think of his name now. But
yeah,
Jordan Conroy has fucking scored 117 tries for Ireland.
Jeez.
Yeah, so man. Yeah. Right. Anyway, gentlemen, we're way over time. We're an hour and 16 minutes. Holy fuck! Time flies when you're having fun. Gentlemen, all that's left for me to do. I
think we should be proud that we made it go this long with only 3 of us bullshitting. Normally, there's 4 or 5 to get this long.
Well,
that's quality
true,
there.
yes.
That is now.
That's quality right there. You're bang on, Dara. You're quite right. Gentlemen, listen, thank you for your company. Mike Reedy, a pleasure as always. Dara Weston, you're an absolute fucking gent. And thank you for joining us. Gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will chat again very soon. And thank you to everyone who offered a comment, offered an opinion. It's you who make the show. We just sit here and talk shite. So good night, gents, and take care. Talk to you soon.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Dara.
Good night,
good to see you again.